All right, now I know what you're probably thinking after seeing the title of this video, and trust me, I know that this is a Fast Saga movie. I know it's not going to be the second coming of Shawshank Redemption, and I know not to expect Daniel Day-Lewis levels of performance out of its actors, but holy shit, man. This movie was bad. Look, the Fast franchise has gone under a bit of a transformation in the past decade or so. Gone are the modest days of street racing, and the stakes being Hector running 3 Honda Civics with spoon engines. We're at the point where we're sending Tyrese Gibson and Ludacris to space in a Pontiac and enduring Vin Diesel saying one word on loop for 2 hours.
I got family.
Look, I'm not saying the Fast and the Furious movies can't be bombastically, stupidly entertaining, because they can. But the problem with Fast X is it's just bombastically stupid with not much entertainment going on because you've seen it all before. Now, don't get it twisted. I like the crazy realms that the Fast franchise has gone to in recent years. Fast 5 slaps hard, and Fast 7's tribute to Paul Walker made me angry at the man cutting onions in the movie theater. But when Fast 9 came out a couple years ago, yeah, I think we all knew the franchise was in a little bit of trouble back then. It pretty much signified that the Fast Saga may have just blown its load, but Fast X might actually even be worse. So let's talk about Fast X and why it is complete trash. So I want to make this clear. I'm not going to be delving into the dichotomy of man and how it reflects the struggles of Dom Toretto and all that video essayish stuff, because this film doesn't deserve it, nor does it even try to be thought-provoking. There is still a lot to break down in here in the broader sense of why this film just fails at what it sets out to do. Now, in order to get down to the bottom of it, we've got to go back to the very beginning. So the Fast Saga, it started with humble beginnings. Like I said earlier, it was about street racers, fast cars, and my boy Hector. Then the second film went a little more into the action crime comedy realm with a buddy cop kind of approach with dialogue that Shakespeare would be proud of.
So forget about it, cuz.
And then Tokyo Drift, which is the most underrated Fast and Furious movie ever, and if you don't like it, then you're weird. It was fun and fresh and introduced us to Han, whose death would get retconned in about 20 different ways throughout the franchise. But then the Fast franchise kind of rebooted itself with Fast and the Furious 4, bringing back all of the original characters, and was the start of the jumping the shark era of Fast Saga movies. Like seriously, Dom developed force visions in this movie. It was ridiculous. But Fast 5 is the one that catapulted this franchise to heights that it had never seen before, and rightly so. Fast 5 is the best Fast movie by a mile. Like, changed my mind. It ramped up the action, the cheesy dialogue, the comedy. It dialed everything up to 11, and it worked. Ever since then, each sequel has subsequently tried to outdo its predecessor by becoming more and more ridiculous, up until the point where Tyrese and Ludacris went to space in a Pontiac in Fast 9. So as I said, this series became synonymous with jumping the shark with each new movie. Like, normally a movie franchise will jump the shark once and then it's done, it's over, fans have checked out. The Fast franchise, on the other hand, was the complete opposite. Each film just got more and more stupid and more entertaining as a result. With Fast 9, that's where it probably went too far though, but that's what people line up to these movies to see how dumb the next one was gonna be. But most of the time, it was at least entertaining. It was a meme that they'd go to space, and nobody ever thought it would really happen, but then it did. And that's when this franchise kind of lost its mind to the point where its hook was pretty much gone. And that's one of the biggest problems with Fast X. It doesn't outdo its predecessor in terms of one-upping itself. It feels like a small step backwards in the ever-increasing absurdity of the Fast Saga. Therefore, it kind of lost something. It didn't feel like the increasingly dumb entertainment that most people probably lined up for. But I mean, if it did work for you, then, I mean, who am I to ruin the fun for you? So to anyone that saw Fast X, you know very well that they tried to pull the Infinity War with this movie. The ending of Fast X is abrupt and, to be honest, ends with a complete whimper, despite the fact it went with that Infinity War ending, with several deaths of the main characters. The problem is though, death in this franchise doesn't mean shit. Letty died, and then she didn't. Han died, then he didn't. Giselle died, and then she didn't, because, oh yeah, she's alive in Fast X. Don't know how, honestly, don't care why.
Somehow Palpatine returned.
To be perfectly honest, by the point Giselle showed up, I'd kind of just tapped out, to be honest. But of course now, John Cena is dead, Tej is dead, Han is dead, Roman's dead, Missandei's dead as well. At least they should be. They were in a plane crash. But I don't know, Dom is probably just going to put on the Infinity Glove in Fast 11 and resurrect them all. Honestly, wouldn't surprise me at this point. Now, speaking of the Infinity War correlation, the best part about Infinity War is its villain, Thanos. Well, the best part about Fast X is also its villain, Dante Reyes, played by Khal Drogo if he was on the Happy Gas. Now, Dante as a character, he's absolutely balls to the wall, batshit ridiculous, and the only reason that you should ever watch this movie. His entire character's existence is the most contrived thing I've ever seen in a movie, I honestly think, ever. Now, I'll fill in his backstory out of obligation. So he is the son of Fast Five's main villain. He was there when Brian and Dom yanked the safe out of the police station, and he now has a hard-on for taking down Dom and his crew in the most torturous ways possible. Because apparently Dom killed his father, except Dom didn't kill his father, Hobbs did. But the film waited until a mid-credit scene to actually let us know that they were actually aware of that. Because, oh yeah, Hobbs is back now. I guess The Rock and Vin Diesel sorted their shit out. Not gonna lie, I'm pretty happy. Hobbs was pretty much responsible for the reinvigoration of this Fast franchise, so I'm actually happy that he's back, to be honest. His presence alone in the next film already has me interested, even though I thought this movie was absolutely cheeks. But anyway, I got a little sidetracked there. Dante. Jason Momoa is having so much fun playing this character. There is a scene where he's painting the toenails of a dead person, because why not? Okay. There is a scene where Dante is riding a bike and he screams out an Italian swear word and blows a raspberry at Letty. Now, growing up in an Italian family, I heard that word a lot, so I actually got a massive kick out of this. I thought it was really funny. And I was surprised when I found out that that wasn't the only time that Dante was just going to randomly blow raspberries and just say weird shit. So even though Dante's character was just the most contrived, retcon-inducing, absurd BS you could possibly imagine, he is still the best thing about this movie, which I think really says a lot. And again, it's because Jason Momoa got the memo on what this movie was and just said, screw it, I'm gonna go batshit insane and just do whatever I want. Like, character-wise, it makes absolutely zero sense for Dante to act the way he does in this film, but I just don't care because it was funny. Again, I'm well aware of the kind of film that I'm watching, but one person that I don't think was aware of the film that he was actually in was Vin Diesel, because he plays Dom so straight in this movie and it just ends up being so cringeworthy. Like, there are moments where you think that they're actually being really self-aware, but then they'll genuinely try and play something off seriously, and it's like, come on, Vin, just really? You're in a Fast and the Furious movie, dude. To be honest, I feel like most of the actors got the memo of the kind of film they were in. John Cena definitely did. He basically just played himself, even though in Fast 9, Jacob was played pretty straight. So if you watch the two films back to back, his character makes absolutely no sense. But you know what? Nothing in this movie makes sense. So I can let it slide. Honestly, it felt like they just wanted to make a superhero movie with Fast X, and they were like, okay, Disney has Iron Man, Warner Brothers has Batman, Universal, what have we got? We've got Dominic Toretto. So they just said, all right, Infinity War, Jason Momoa, you're Thanos, let's go. Oh yeah, Vin Diesel also wants Robert Downey Jr. to be in the next movie. So in case you needed any more convincing that they're trying to replicate the MCU, there you go. Now, to say that the Fast Saga is out of ideas would be the actual understatement of the century. And no better is this showcased than with Fast X. One of the biggest problems with this film, maybe even the biggest problem, is that you've seen all of this before. There is absolutely nothing in this film that you have not seen from this franchise already. And that's actually my biggest problem with it. And if you're still pumping these out 10 movies into a franchise, then it better be because you've actually got something new to bring to the table. Otherwise, what's the point? I mean, let's be real, we all know what the point really is. But damn, dude, like, creative integrity, how about a little bit of it? Like, how many more times are we gonna watch a Fast movie and listen to Dom mumble the word family and have cars flipping all over the place? That was fun 3 movies ago. Now it just feels stale. Now, I mentioned this in a recent video, but remember when we all walked out of the theaters of Avengers Endgame and thought to ourselves, man, where does the MCU go from here? And then the MCU began to decline, as we'd probably expected. Yeah, well, it feels like the Fast franchise has pretty much got the same thing going on. They blew their load on the ridiculousness of going to space, and now it's like, okay, where do we go from here? If Fast X is any indication, it's absolutely nowhere. This franchise already blew its load and now it's just big budget explosions and family. That's as much as you're really going to get out of it. And look, for some people, that's all you need. And if so, have fun. But I remember when the Fast movie started to get more and more ridiculous, the thing that got me into the movie theater was the anticipation of the next crazy thing that they were going to do. Are they going to go to space? Is Dom going to learn to fly? Is The Rock going to play tug of war with 2 helicopters instead of 1? I don't know, but I want to know. Whatever wild, wacky thing they could possibly do, I was ready for it. So when I sat down in Fast X at the theater and it was just more of what we'd already seen 3 films ago, it lost something for me. And clearly a lot of people feel the same way because the reviews have been pretty damn bad, but it's still raking in money. Now granted, some people genuinely tried to critique this film like it was actually trying to be a thought-provoking piece of art. Why? I don't know why reviewers do that. You're watching a Fast movie, like, get a grip. Most people that went and saw this movie, they knew what they were in for, and that's why it's making a lot of money. But I feel like a lot of them still walked away feeling really disappointed, myself included. One part that didn't disappoint though was actually the opening big action sequence, which was probably the only really entertaining sequence of the movie. Still though, it wasn't anything new. I just think that Vin Diesel got stuck in lockdown during the pandemic and played a shitload of Rocket League and thought, man, we got to do that in our movie. Because yeah, Vin Diesel's playing Rocket League with a bomb in the middle of Rome in this movie. That got a chuckle out of me. I loved that. But to be honest, I just think that Fast X shows all the major signs of a franchise that's just out of ideas and is running out of steam. They've taken 2 L's back to back after a string of success, and I really hope the next one is the last one. But if Vin Diesel has his way, I'm pretty sure there's going to be 2 more. Like, I'd love to know what ideas he has in his head because there wasn't even enough here to justify this movie. But I feel like Vin Diesel has pretty much just lost his mind at this point anyway. Like, the dude's just off in his own little fantasy land. So yeah, between the clear lack of ideas, the Fast franchise running out of steam, the wow factor not being as potent as it used to be, and the failed attempt at turning this franchise into a superhero franchise for some reason, Fast X is a swing and a miss from Universal. And I think it's maybe not as bad as F9, but it's pretty damn close. Now, if you guys enjoyed this video, a little different from the normal format, I know, but this is a different movie, so it required a different format, at least I thought. There was no way I could have taken this video super seriously, so be sure to drop a like, subscribe to the channel if you enjoyed, and of course, let me know how you feel about Fast X in the comments section below. And of course, if you made it this far into the video, do me a favor, type family in the comments below. I'll know you're a real one. But that's pretty much it for me today. Take care, and yeah, let me know if you want to see more videos in this format.